I think a content marketer, the woe of our role is that we don't have a seat at the table a lot of the time because we don't know how to prove impact most of the time. It's really hard to prove impact when top of the company, the C-suite, really cares about revenue. And like, it's very hard to tie top of funnel content directly to revenue. Attribution's a mess. It's really hard to do that. And it's not possible to do that. And also, it's not realistic. You shouldn't be making content that's just to drive pipeline. That would be horrible content strategy. But original research for me has become a way that I am immediately knowing that I'm proving impact outside of just my marketing team. Because, for example, with this customer marketing tech landscape report that we're working on, we worked with a third party to do the survey, like I said, so that it would be, all kosher and we were not skewing any data since we're a vendor in the survey as well. There was a question in the survey that said, like, what do you hope for the future of customer marketing tech? Like, what do you hope for, the vendors here and what do you hope they'll realize? Out of the 250 responses, I was digging through that data. So like I'm the point person that gets all that data from the third party. No one else in my company has that. I could have very easily just passed that off to our copywriting team and said, go for it. But I'm like, this is my responsibility to understand what the responses are here and what we got from our ICP. Literally 250 of our ICP just gave us free information. I went through that data and I found that most of the responses, the aggregate of those responses to that question was like, oh, well, I hope vendors realize that the customer marketing role is changing a lot and we want them to change with us. So then I kind of dug in more and I'm like, okay, well, what do they mean by that? And I was able to work with my assistant, ChatGPT, to help me aggregate some of the sentiment of like, what do they mean by that? What are these responses? What do they tell us about what the future of customer marketer role is? And I put that all into a document and I made a little like primer on basically like the future of customer marketing according to 250 customer marketers. I pulled quotes that they had said from those testimonials. I pulled some of the survey data. It's a little 2-pager. I sent it off to our whole C-suite. I said, hey, this is important for us from a product roadmap perspective. This is important to us from a marketing and messaging and positioning perspective. This is important to us from how we're talking to customer marketers in sales discussions. I think people kind of went like, you're important. Like it was genuinely a moment that I could see a light bulb of like, oh, okay, you're more than just a content factory.